Okay, I'm going to show you a little bit more, and this is one of my major reasons that I don't stop, that I keep speaking out. Okay, on the division, the programming that's happening in society. Okay, so there's some things here I'm going to show you. Watch out. This isn't my video. I don't know how YouTube allows this to be put up, but then never mind. I do know how they allow this to be put up because this right here helps to keep the male bashing going. This is a promotion of male bashing. It's a promoting violence. It's promoting division. It's promoting what I've been talking about. That's what this is. How come YouTube allowed this to be up is beyond me, okay? Outside of the fact that they don't mind evil. They don't mind division because they work for evil, because they are evil. You know, it's not me who posted this, but this is totally insanity. This right here helps to keep the genders divided. This right here promotes violence. That's right, promotes violence onto the man, onto the male. Watch this. Okay, now, how do you imagine these women who's promoting this stuff? See, they got a thrill out of this. This was fun to them. This was all a game and it was fun to them, okay? And even though this was probably faked and staged, that's not the point. The point is what they just promoted is the killing of a man, another human being. While they jump up and down for joy because they have the ability to what? Kill another human being? It makes it fun, huh? Well, you know, it's sort of like on ABC when the four ladies got up there and laughed and mocked about the guy who got his penis cut off. They had a good old time with it. Well, you got the same thing going on here. Promoting violence onto the male gender. Male bashing 100% all the way. You know it's disgusting? It's sick. And if you turn this around and you had a woman sitting in that chair and four men went up, 4 or 5 men got together and a man come up and blew her head off like that. And then the 4 or 5 guys turned on some music, threw up a firework and started doing what these women are doing. Can you imagine the outrage in society, how mad people would be because it was the other way around? But yet when women do this, it's supposed to be funny. Yeah, do you see what I'm talking about here? This is supposed to be funny, huh? See, so when YouTube wants to, exterminate people's accounts, YouTube wants to give you a flag and give you a strike and say you're promoting violence, it's against YouTube's rules. Well, if that's the case, why is this video up and why does it have 22,881 views? Think about that. And it was posted on November 24th of 2011. This is 2013. By this person, and it's still up. Disgusting. Now, as you can see, the promotion of male bashing, the promotion of killing men is acceptable. If it was turned around, it wouldn't be acceptable, would it? Watch out.
The day he finally stands up for himself and says, I wished you bullies were basically out of my life, then he gets arrested.
Well, they call me Brantina, homo.
He's been the victim of sexual harassment, homosexual comments, references, vandalism. They've broken his glasses.
Come on, that's a lot for anyone to put up with, let alone an 11-year-old child. And it gets worse. Dad says he reached out to his son's teacher about the repeated bullying, and he says he still hasn't heard a word. Joining us tonight, Dad, Jose Pereira, and his son, Brenton. I'm so glad, Jose and Brenton, that you can join us tonight. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
You're
Glad to be here.
All right. Brenton, I'm going to get to you in a second, Brenton. I'm glad you brought your guitar tonight. Jose, your son tells you he's being bullied. You're his dad. Our job as parents is to do everything we can to protect our children. Tell us what you did.
Well, what I did is I've made numerous attempts to go to the school and went to the school numerous times, as well as my wife and 20-year-old daughter. The problem started approximately a year and a half ago with the name-calling, the bullying, vandalism, throwing trash
What was
in
the
his
response
desk.
you got, Jose? What was the response you got from the school? Because you're doing the right thing here. You're going to school and you're raising awareness. Listen, this is going on. My child goes to school. He needs to be safe.
Well, what I had is, depending on what day it was, sometimes I felt like we were just whining, complaining parents. Almost all of the times they would say it's just something that happens. It's an epidemic. The bullies are out of control. There's not much we can do. We'll talk to them. So repeated times showing up at the school resulted in no results.
No results. All
Nothing.
Right. Now, I have to do this, Jose. I want to play Bruce Morton. He's from the Yuba City Unified School District to get their side
Sure.
and what they say they did or knew or didn't know. Take a listen.
I would like to get to the bottom also and talk to him about what his concerns are, and hopefully we can work them out for him. But I think this may have been blown out of proportion.
Blown out of, I'll tell you what, if it's my 11-year-old son, it's not blown out of proportion. Brenton, let me speak with you. And thanks for being brave enough to show up here tonight, Brenton, because I think that's a big step here, standing up for yourself and speaking up for yourself. Tell me what it's like, because I was lucky, Brenton. I was lucky. I wasn't bullied when I was a kid. Nobody bullied me in school. For whatever reason, I was lucky. You've been bullied. Tell me how that makes you feel and what it does to you, you know, each and every day when you got to go to school knowing that those kids are there.
Well, it basically feels like no one cares about me. No one wants to be nice to me or anything. Just, I don't like it.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't like it, and it shouldn't happen, Brenton. Did you feel afraid for your own safety? Did you feel like these kids are ridiculing me to the point? What I'm trying to get the folks at home to understand, because sometimes people have the reaction like your father described. Oh, you're just whining. Oh, you know, we'll try to do something. Tell me what it really does to you, Brenton. I mean, did you want to go to school every day?
No, I didn't. I didn't want to go to school. I was always in bed saying, like, oh, I don't want to go to school because, like, problems like this is always going to happen.
You know, Jose, this is tough. This is tough stuff because, you know, we have a job, and part of our job is protecting our children, but we can't protect them when they're in school. But you did the right thing, step number one. Now, we get to the next part of this story, Jose, is your son stands up for himself. Let me have Brenton tell us, first of all, what did you do? What did you say to these bullies when you confronted them? Describe the situation and tell us what you told them, and then we'll deal with what happened to you next.
Well, everyone calling me names like Brentina and like all that like gay stuff, and that really pisses me off. And I said when I was in class after they called me, I just said to myself, not out loud or not too soft or anything, just at my regular voice, and I said, God, I wish I had a gun so I can get rid of all you bullies.
That's the statement. Now, I understand why police and authorities have to take that seriously in today's world, Jose. But that statement, from my perspective, doesn't happen if the problem is taken care of initially. So now, Jose, Brenton says these words, and they take action. Tell me what happens to your son.
Well, first of all, I'm on a flight to Cleveland, Ohio, when I get a phone call from the assistant principal of school that the police department are down there interviewing my son and comments that he made. I asked them to terminate any interviews until he had legal representation down there or his mother could be there. I then spoke to the officer, Al Ortega, and told him to terminate the interview, that I didn't want any of his civil rights violated. He told me he was going to do what he had to do, whether I liked it or not, and if I had complaints, to talk to his lieutenants.
You know what's ironic here, Jose, and I want to get as much information as I can in here. is that now is when police are called. Now's when you get a call back from the school, right? Now that your son has said
Vinny,
something.
they're being reactive, and the whole time along, a year and a half ago, between my wife, my daughter, and myself, we were trying to be proactive. We knew what was coming. It escalated from verbal abuse to physical abuse. He's come home with marks on him. And now in Yuba City, what's happening is everybody from the district to the police department is taking cover. They're lawyering up. I'm the only one without any representation. And I still have a son that's facing serious charges. These charges carry up to a year in juvenile hall.
I got to cut you off, Jose, before we run out of time. I've got to play for everyone, spokesman for the Yuba City Police, what they had to say about this. And then I want to do something with Brenton.
Sure.
Could this have been dealt with in another way that would have sent the same message, or you don't think so?
Well, it would have been outside of what our policy and procedure is, and that's what was followed here.
Policy and, well, you need a policy and procedure for bullies as well. All right, Brenton, I notice you have a guitar. I know you're a talented young man. You think you could play a few chords for us?
Yeah, I can probably play that.
Yeah? You know, you've been through enough, Brenton. I think you deserve some national television time playing some music.
Yeah.
How much time do we have
Vinny,
before the break here, Kurt? We have 30 seconds. Go ahead, Jose. You speak while he plays the guitar.
Vinny, also, I'd like other parents to know there was 3 other arrests of other students. The Yuba City area needs to look at being proactive instead of reactive. I also think that children should go to school out of inspiration instead of obligation.
Yep.
And Yuba City district officials ought to worry about education instead of incarceration.
I agree with you.
You don't arrest 10 and
Jose,
11-year-olds.
I want to give your son some time with his music.
Brenton, hit him with the song, babe.
Play us to break, Brenton.
Go ahead, son.
Good luck to both of you. Brenton, keep on playing, baby. Don't ever stop playing, Brenton. Now, we get to the next part of this story, Jose, is your son stands up for himself. Let me have Brenton tell us, first of all, what did you do? What did you say to these bullies when you confronted them? Describe the situation and tell us what you told them, and then we'll deal with what happened to you next.
Well, everyone calling me names like Brentina and all that gay stuff, and that really pisses me off. And I said, when I was in class after they called me that, I just said to myself, not out loud or not too soft or anything, just at my regular voice, and I said, God, I wish I had a gun so I can get rid of all you bullies.
See, and this is another topic I've talked about for so long, okay? Right here. The bullying. You saw the first clip, okay, how society is promoting violence, promoting the death of men by women, okay? And if that's cool, that's acceptable. It's not cool. It's not acceptable. If you turn it around, it would never be acceptable, would it? Everybody would be outraged. If you turn that around, everybody would be outraged. And then you see how the schools handle bullying. This report's maybe a year old at the most. And you can see how this is handled. When he stood up for himself, he was arrested. And you're going to say, well, no, it's because of what he said. What did you expect him to say? You think you can just keep pushing people and pushing people and bullying 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 people? You just think that it's okay to turn your head and look the other way? And that you can continuously abuse and abuse and abuse and abuse somebody over and 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 over again. And that there's supposed to be no consequences. It wasn't that long ago that I did a story over on TFL Truth where a kid that was bullied and bullied and bullied took a gun. See, this kid said he wished he had a gun. He didn't have a gun. So he could have never harmed anybody over wishing. Okay? Why did he say it? Because that's how it affects you inside. It makes you think that kind of stuff. Because anybody, and even you people that are bullying people, if a situation was turned around onto you, and it kept happening to you, you'd feel the exact same way. And you would. But you don't care about that because you don't want to think about how it would affect you. Okay? So what do we have here? We had a bully, a kid that was bullied and bullied like this, who went back to the school, or maybe he wasn't on campus. I don't think he was on campus, but he went with a gun, and he shot the kids that was bullying him. The kids didn't die. The kids were in the hospital with a gun wound because their abuse, because they continuously abused him over and over and over and over and over. Okay? And then you have the parents of the kids that were being the bullies saying that they should have known, that the school should have known this kid was dangerous. You see how you used your cop-out to flip around the truth? You see how you try to cover up for the wrong? You see how you try to cover up for the wrong, cover up for the wrong, cover up for the wrong? And you say the one that you bullied and you bullied and you bullied and you bullied that the school should have known he was dangerous? But if we turn the situation around and we took each individual bully and we separated them and we put them in a school over here where the school was instructed to bully the hell out of them every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, and they had to go through the exact same thing, they would feel the exact same way. Then if they acted out in defense for themselves, we'll turn around and we will blame them, And the parents is wanting to blame the kid who shot their kids. But yet the parents are at fault because the parents turned their head to bullying and said it's perfectly normal. It's okay. You're supposed to man up and just take it. Just take it. Just take it. See, that's why I said it's like backing a lion into the corner in a cage. If you back a lion into the corner, it comes out fighting and kills you. Whose fault is it? Yours. You're the one that backed it into the corner. If you take a stick and poke at a dog and keep poking at it and it bites you, whose fault is it? It's yours. Well, it's the same thing here. You allow your kids to bully other kids. And bully them and bully them and bully them, and you think it's just part of life. It's normal. Then expect bad things to happen because it's part of life. It's normal. See, you didn't understand when I talked about the TJ Lane or whatever you want to call him. I understood his smile in the courtroom. I don't agree with it. But I understood it. I understood it because you bully and you bully and you bully and you bully and you bully. What do you think this kid said what he said? He said what he said because you're tearing him apart. You're destroying his life. He done nothing to you, but you're getting off on destroying another person's life. Makes you feel big inside. Makes you feel powerful to destroy another human being. Sort of like the beginning of the video, when the women were shooting and killing a man and partying because they shot and killed another human being. This is the type of stuff we promote in today's society, isn't it? That's right. And because we promote bullying and because we promote this behavior, these are the results.
A woman and her children hurt in what police are calling a stunning act of domestic violence.
The man accused is her estranged husband.
It happened earlier today in southwest Houston.
Police say the man broke into the home and went on the attack. Our Brad Woodard has that story.
Her sister's inconsolable grief tells the story. So do the scars on the forehead of the victim's 2-week-old infant, one of 4 small children present when their world was turned upside down.
The estranged husband broke the back window, came in, grabbed the wife, and stabbed her. And the sister was trying to pull her away, and she said he was too strong and he wouldn't let go of her. So she grabbed all 4 of the kids and ran out of the house.
Police say the stabbing continued outside.
He stabbed her multiple times in the upper torso out in the driveway of the residence.
3 of the 4 kids in the house were hurt with glass and cuts and abrasions, and she went away in an ambulance. He stabbed himself in the abdomen, and then the police arrested him and took him away in an ambulance.
Both are at Ben Taub, and both are expected to survive. On some levels, neighbors aren't surprised. They tell us the couple had a history of domestic violence and that police were routinely called to the residence.
There's been a police car here every day for about the last 10 days.
As for the newborn,
it's just heartbreaking that a father would jeopardize their kids,
let alone exhibit this level of violence. Brad Woodard, KHOU 11 News.
Remember the beginning of the video? The women dancing around all happy because they killed a man? Do you remember my last video? You know, the one over on Bill1224601 account that I posted up today where I talked about programming. Do you remember what Mark Rudolph said about women stealing the man's children through divorce? Do you remember all the stuff I've told you about the court systems and the laws been deliberately designed, deliberate, to cause tension between the men and women, to get us fighting? Okay, I've showed you so much stuff over the years that if you ain't got the message by now, you never will get the message, or you're just deliberately ignoring it and continuing the behavior. And when you deliberately ignore and continue the behavior, you can honestly not expect me to feel sorry for what you just seen. I cannot feel sorry for this woman that the ex-husband or the husband to be the ex stabbed her. Went in, broke into the home, or forced his way in and stabbed his wife, or soon-to-be ex-wife. I cannot feel sorry for you. I'm sorry. I refuse to feel sorry for you. Because there's no reason to feel sorry for you whatsoever. Because you want to promote male bashing. You want to cover up for bullying. And you want to use every cop-out you can come up with to cover up for bullying and to cover up for male bashing. You want to sit and let a criminal cartel called the court system and your politicians make laws that you know full well is totally wrong. You know, like the Violence Against Women's Act, the Patriot Act. And you don't want to stand up to them and take these criminals out of their positions and throw their damn laws and legislations or piece of papers in a burn barrel and burn them and get rid of them. Because you people would rather stay divided. You'd rather stay fighting. You'd rather somebody be over the top of somebody when there's no such thing as another human being that's better than another human being. End of story. But you want to continue the childish behavior. We keep going to wars. We keep killing innocent people over and over and over again. That's done nothing to nobody. Bullies go to school and they pick out somebody that's never done a damn thing to them, that's never done anything to them, not even called them a name. And they ridicule him and bully him and ridicule him and bully him and push on him and push on him and push on him and abuse 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 him. And everybody turns their head to it. Everybody turns their head to it. Then you whine and cry when the one that's being victimized strikes back. If they kill themselves, then you just say, well, they deserved it. They were too weak. They were weak. It's their fault they killed themselves. That's right. You're a cop-out to go around what you done to them. But then when they strike back, you know, like George Sedini when he walked into the gym, and they strike back, then you attack them once again. Once again, you attack the person that you attacked for no reason. Because they dared to stand up for themselves. See, that boy dared to stand up for himself. He dared to say, I wish I had a gun so I could take care of you bullies. You know, and you're saying, but that's the wrong statement. No, that's not the wrong statement. The wrong is allowing kids to bully other kids. The wrong is when the parents don't discipline their kids and teach them. You know, I guess the best way to teach idiots like this what it feels like so that they stop doing it would be when you get a pack of bullies bullying one kid, no matter what the gender is. You separate the bullies, you put them in different school systems, and you instruct that classroom to bully them every day, every day, every day. Let them go through some bullying for like 3 months straight. Let them taste their very own behavior. Let them not be the popular one for attention now, because now they're the ones being bullied. I'll guarantee you they will stop. I'll guarantee you they will never bully another person ever again. Because it won't be so cool no more, now will it? No. See, I don't agree with what, like T.J. Lane did. I never have agreed with it. I don't promote it. He smiled at the families in the courtroom, and I understood the smile. The smile came from the abuse that their children laid on him. You abused your children, abused him first. Over and over and over again until the brink of suicide. The only difference is he didn't kill himself when you pushed him to the brink of suicide. That's right. He didn't kill himself so that you could laugh and call him weak. He got a gun and fought back. You complain about that and whine about that while you're allowing your government, your criminal government, to take your tax money to make weapons to go overseas and kill innocent children and women. You don't care about the innocent people overseas, do you? It's all right to kill them, isn't it? You don't care about them at all, do you? But you care about it when it happens to you, huh? See what the programming's done for you? This is why I don't stop fighting. This is why I don't keep showing you it in your face. In your face over and over again. Maybe someday it'll register in your brains what you're doing to one another. Maybe. I didn't promise anything. Because it appears to me we have a world completely filled full of psychopaths. That's right, psychopaths. And if you tell them they're a psychopath, they're either going to go, yeah, I know, when they need to be locked up. Or they're going to say, I'm not no psychopath, and go right out and represent the behavior of a psychopath. Programming in the division, the male bashing, the bullying, what I speak against. I suppose this is why I don't have a job, because I dared to care about more than myself. I dared to care about what's right in society and what's wrong in society, and I dared to care to point it out to try to get you people to wake up. Because if you'd wake up and realize when your children are bullies, you need to ground them, punish them, discipline them, and stop their behavior. Because your children don't have a right to bully somebody else that's never done nothing to them. And if you turn your back and say, well, it's just a part of life and your kid needs to man up, when your kid's wearing a bullet, it's being buried in the ground, don't you have the audacity to cry and whine about it. You allowed it to happen. You helped to kill your very own children. Because you can only push somebody so far before they lose it. And when they lose it, bad things happen. And if your child winds up dead from being a bully by the one they victimized, I can't honestly feel sorry for your child. Well, I'll reword that. I'll feel sorry for your child that they had to have a mom and dad that turned their head and looked the other way. Because the mom and dad condoned the behavior that led to their child's death. I don't know why the mom and dad just didn't turn their head while their kid crawled across the railroad track when a train was coming. Why didn't you just turn your head when your kid was getting ready to walk out in front of a semi on the interstate? Should have you turned your head and looked the other way and let them get hit? Why would you want to warn them? Oh, because you care about your child? Do you really? How much do you care about your child? Because if you care about your child half as much as what you're saying you care about your child, then maybe you should think about the consequences of allowing your child to become a bully. Maybe you should think about the consequences, because if we took your child that was the bully, on his friends that were the bullies, and we did what I said and separated them and put them in a classroom in a different school where the classroom was instructed to bully your child, but do only what your child did to them. Word for word, everything that your child does to another child is done back onto your child, day in and day out. When your child comes home all mentally frustrated and distraught and hurt inside, and says something to you and you're angry, you better remember your own words. You don't have a right to be angry. Look at your child and tell him to man up now. That's right. And to just take it. That's right. I want you to look at your child and tell him, just take it. Man up. Because you know you won't say that to your child. You'll be angry that this is happening. But when your child's not the victim of being bullied, then you want to use your cop-outs, don't you? To go around, to not acknowledge. Because to go around and not acknowledge means you ain't got to take responsibility. I think people need to grow up and start taking responsibility. Men and women alike. You need to realize what programming's done for us. And you need to stop using somebody else's brain to stop the programming and start using your head. Think about how you would feel if somebody was doing something to you that you're doing to them. And if you don't like how it would feel to happen to you, then use your damn head and stop doing it to somebody else. It's as simple as that.